everybody, welcome to Ad America. It's really nice to see you all. We hope you're all doing well and staying safe. For those of you at home, I hope you enjoy our event today. So, if you're new here, Ad America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. So currently we have moved to digital platforms so you can enjoy our events from the comfort of your own home. But if you would like to join our event on site, you can subscribe and join our membership to know our upcoming events. So today I'm so excited because we are gonna discuss about topic that is so close to my heart. On this event, we'll learn about get to know the states Mid-Atlantic. But before we begin, how about we spice things up a little bit with a trivia? So our friends online, you can join us on our social media and make sure you answer our question as fast as you can. All right, so be ready. The question for today is, in which state in the Mid-Atlantic region did the signing of the Declaration of Independence take place? Is it in A, New York, B, Delaware, C, West Virginia, or D, Pennsylvania? So you can start typing in your answer on our social media because in the end of the event, we'll do a live shout out for those of you who can guess the answer correctly. Other than that, you are free to take a selfie while you are enjoying our events and make sure to tag Ad America's Instagram account. All right. Before now, please welcome our moderator for today. Give a big round of applause for Novel Rayan Riandi, KLES alumni 2015 to 2016, South Dakota. Mas Novel, time is yours.
All right. Selamat malam. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, joining with us. And I would like to say welcome also for the participants who is joining online as well, and also for the on-site. Anyway, today we're gonna have our exciting topics. It's going to be get to know the states Mid-Atlantic, and I would like to bring one of the most important and awesome speakers today. Let me read the bio first. She is actually an alumni of the 2015-2016 Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study, or KLES, who went to Webster, New York. While she was in the US, she lived with an American family and went to Webster Shoulders High School. She was also selected to be a YES student of the month due to her impactful and active participation in various organizations or communities, especially in terms of American Sign Language, or ASL, that she learned from her disabled host mother. Right now, she is a human resource management clerk at UNDP Indonesia, and in providing support to the implementation of HR strategies, focusing on achievement of full compliance of HR process and records with UN or UNDP rules, regulations, policies, and strategies. And so, please welcome, with a round of applause, Cecilia Adisti. Please come on stage. Okay, Sil. So how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So how you feel now?
A little bit nervous, but more likely excited.
Uh-huh. All right, cool. So
Sure.
we're gonna talk about your Mid-Atlantic, right? So can you please give me at least one word that going to be an opening for what is the Mid-Atlantic?
Variety.
Variety.
Variety,
All right,
yeah.
go. Okay, without any further ado, please, the time is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I'm so excited to be here today. Can I take a sit now? Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So we get to the presentation about Mid-Atlantic. So the first thing that during this presentation making process, I actually learned about the Mid-Atlantic as well, Novel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I learned a lot from this presentation as well. So I want to ask you guys to learn with me tonight. And let's get to the first slide.
All right, I think. There you go.
All right, it's about the Mid-Atlantic. So basically, Mid-Atlantic is knownly as densely populated. So a lot of people come from a lot of countries and touch down to the United States. And actually, the Mid-Atlantic included New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. And it's also typically American. What does it mean? Typically American is basically when foreigner come to Indonesia, and let's say this American come to Indonesia and our people ask, where do you come from? And they say, New York. People will assume that New York is the whole America, right? Or, right?
I was the one. I was the one.
And maybe New York is not the state, but New York is the city, right?
True.
Before you come to America, do you think that way as well?
Yeah,
Nopal?
totally. I was the one that thinks the New York is actually like city and also like the central of any United States, basically.
Exactly. So, and Mid-Atlantic region is actually bursting with American history. We will get deeper about that later, talking about the Pennsylvania especially, but hold on, later on. And the Mid-Atlantic region is also famous with development of American culture, commerce, trade, and also industry.
You can take a slide.
Okay, so we're talking about New York now. When I was hosted in Webster, New York, and I told my friends that I'm hosted in New York, people assume that I'm hosted in New York City. But actually, New York City and New York State are two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the capital of New York is actually Albany. Do you know that before?
Whoa, really? I thought it's going to be like New York. Okay, New York States will be New York City. I thought it's going to be New York City. I have no clue about the Albany at the same time.
No, basically,
Wow.
and actually New York's capital is Albany. And the nickname of New York is the Empire State. And also, the major cities in New York are New York City, Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, and Binghamton. So these cities are actually popular in New York. Okay, when we talk about New York, we talk about the Liberty Statue, right? And the fact is, Liberty Statue is actually a woman. Do you know that fact, Novel?
Oh. It
Yeah.
can confuse me though.
Yeah, so Liberty is actually a woman, so it's called Lady Liberty. And also, New York is also famous with the apple symbol because apple means the opportunity and freedoms. And also, when we talk about New York, we also talk about Niagara Falls. So when people visit New York State, it's not New York City, New York State, people can actually go to two countries, Canada and New York. Yeah. And also, we have like the wine competition as well in New York. And of course, the baseball games as well.
Is that one of the famous sports that New York has? I mean, like all the citizens like really into it, into the sports.
Yeah, the baseball
The
games.
baseball game.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, you too, right? What about
Um,
South Dakota a little bit?
South Dakota. Oh, they do have the baseball team, but I'm not really into that game, so yeah, just kind of watch it.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, now we're talking about Pennsylvania. The nickname of this state is Keystone State, and the capital is Harrisburg. And the fact that the United States was founded right in that city on July 4th, 1776. So the founding fathers developed and agreed about the Constitution in that building. And then the second one is the Liberty Bell. And it's also showed that America is free from the slavery, and also it the symbol of freedom. And this is the signature, food signature is the cheesesteak Philly. So guys, if you visit Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia, it is really famous with the cheesesteaknya.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really awesome, though. I mean, okay, kind of questions. If United States already established in Pennsylvania, why is that the capital city of United States being in Washington D.C. instead?
Ah, that's interesting. I
Yeah,
will
right?
elaborate that more.
Okay, cool.
Okay, later.
That would
later
be that would be the last questions.
Okay. All right. That's really interesting. All right, the next state is Maryland. Maryland's nickname is the Old Line State. The capital is Annapolis. And its largest city, Baltimore, has a long story as a major seaport. And also Maryland has the narrowest width of any US state. And it was in Baltimore in 1774 that the first post office system in the United States.
Oh, that's cool. So it's actually the first off. What do you call that again? The post office system is actually established in Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay, and Delaware. The nickname is the first state, and the capital is Dover. Delaware was the first state to ratify the United States Constitution. It's like, are you guys feeling like you're learning in US history now? US history class, right? Okay. All right. And Delaware's scientific beauty and low taxes and affordable housing make this tiny state a wonderful place to live, to work, and to play. Okay, now we're moving on. New Jersey. The nickname is the Garden State. The capital is Trenton. And also the major cities are Princeton, Atlantic City, and Newark. What do you know about Princeton?
I know Princeton is it has one of the most prestige of the, what do you call that, university?
University.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Yeah.
I have no idea about Princeton besides of the university.
Princeton University.
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually an Ivy League community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Benar.
So that's what I
That's
know.
right. Okay, and New Jersey actually has the Pine Barrens. So it's actually really famous in New Jersey. And they have the state flower is violet. And it's also, that's why, because of a lot of plants, flora and fauna, they are famous and has the nickname as the Garden State. Let's moving on to Virginia. The Virginia nickname is the Old Dominion. The capital is Richmond. Fun facts about Virginia is the first mother of the states. Why mother of the states? Because the president of America, actually 8 presidents in America were born in Virginia. So that's why it's called mother of the states. And the second one is the largest low-rise office building in the world. You can see for the first picture. So it's called Pentagon, and it's also the home for Army, Navy, and also the Virginia is famous with the first Thanksgiving. Do you know the Thanksgiving in America actually started in Virginia?
I feel like I don't know nothing. I feel like I know nothing about this one. But I know that one for the Pentagon building because I've seen a lot in the movies. So
Yeah, right?
yeah, it's all about like FBI and such.
Yes. It's actually that's a lot of function of Pentagon, but that's one of them.
Oh.
Yeah. And also the fact is the first peanuts grown in America were from Virginia as well. Okay, this is the last state in Mid-Atlantic, West Virginia. The capital is Charleston, and it's actually famous with the first Mother's Day was observed at the West Virginia. That's another fun fact. And it has the longest steel bridge in the Western Hemisphere, And also, the women development here are really strong because they have the first women publication. You can see for the second picture, it's called The Ladies Garland. It is the newspaper, and it was written for the girls and the women. And also, they have the first federal prison for women, and the last one, they have the first female African American legislator was from West Virginia. Okay, now we're talking about lifestyle and culture. The northern states, mid-Atlantic regions are included, do things with more intensity and a bit more rush. Do you know the phrase like, if you can survive in New York, you can survive in anywhere
Yeah,
else?
I've heard that a lot. I heard that a lot because it's already packed and people just like rush, like all the way to states.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
heard.
So most people who are living in mid-Atlantic regions, known as, you can get the best you want as long as you do a lot of things. You have to like, you can good at trading and business and fashion. There are a lot of opportunities in Mid-Atlantic region, of course, let alone other states, right? But like in Mid-Atlantic, because of the typically American, it's called, so it's like, yeah, a lot of opportunities there. And it is also more diverse. The diversity of the people in Mid-Atlantic region also influence the variety of food there. So you can easily see other countries' restaurant in Mid-Atlantic region, and also in northern state, they actually don't really cancel anything for most weather unless it like more than 5 inches of snow and still coming down.
Wow. So they are like the stronger people in the world. Then I can assume, like
Yeah.
whenever I go, for example, and then there is a little bit rainy, and I was like, oh God, I was so lazy to go. But then they were like, no problem.
No
They're just gonna
problem.
go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly. Okay. And about the education system, it is famous with the nationally and internationally ranked universities. One of them you mentioned before,
Oh, yeah.
Princeton University, and also home to some of the most popular school in the country. Also, like most of American states, like it also has the credits and transfer. Maybe we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
And also the diverse student backgrounds. And now we get to the point of the POV for an international student in the Mid-Atlantic region. So we're gonna talk about your question before. Why it's not Washington DC,
Yeah. Why is not that?
right?
Mm-hmm.
Why it's not Philadelphia? Why it's Washington DC, right?
Okay.
It's because the fun fact, Washington DC is not belong to any states. So it's not part of any state. It is a district, and it's not a state.
Oh, that's why it's called District of Columbia. Is that?
Exactly.
Oh, I
That's
see
why it's
now.
called District of
I
Columbia.
thought it's just going to be a name.
No. So the president back then, the founding father, decided to make the federal district, and it later on called the District of Columbia, or we call it as Washington D.C. And being an exchange student or international students in Mid-Atlantic means you can get easily going around the cities and the states just because there are a lot of public transportation and it is affordable. So like you can take the bus and train to go from New York City to Philadelphia easily. And also, of course, being an exchange student or international students in Mid-Atlantic, you get a lot of exchange opportunities. Well, like mostly in America, you can get easily the opportunity, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like United States has a lot of opportunities for, even though for the United States citizens and also for the international students, that's actually a big opportunity, and yeah, it's pretty good to have a good shot.
I agree. I agree. All right. That's the last slide that I have.
Wow. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. And it's really, what do you call it? It's really exciting to talk about your experience as well. I know we've been doing this like, uh, you
Decades
are,
ago.
yeah, decades ago, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're on the same year actually.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
how do you feel back then when you were in exchange students? Like, I mean, how do you like it so far as you are an exchange student? And is there any new hobby that you found when you were there?
Okay. As you said, it was a long time ago
Hmm.
already. But yeah, I learned a lot during the exchange year. Probably you do. You do too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, experiencing a lot, meeting a lot of people, learning new cultures, and learn about a lot of different perspective. Because sometimes when we go out of our comfort zone, then
Hmm.
you probably wonder how far and how much you learn, right?
True.
So yeah, I learned about how to be more tolerate to people, and also learn how to understand people perspective. See,
Okay.
that's the
Cool.
highlight, I guess.
Cool. Now, speaking about cultures and lifestyles, like you mentioned before, what makes it like really different between in Indonesia and also in your city, though? And then, what kind of positive feedback that you get when you were there?
Okay, because I was there during my high school year,
Year. Mm-hmm.
so it's basically what I actually highlight was the education system is really different, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, you can choose your major freely based on what you like or what you really wanted to learn. And also the study hall, we don't have that in Indonesia,
Oh yeah,
right?
we don't. We
Right?
really don't. I miss that a lot.
Yeah.
Because you can actually do whatever you want. If you want to do
Exactly.
homework, if you want to just like read some books or just surfing on the internet, that would be fine, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, we don't have the study hall in Indonesia. We do have it there, and also like the art and music. Probably that's probably one of the thing that I learned a lot from my exchange year. Yeah.
What music? I mean, okay, sekarang begini. Uh, let's talk about music, like you said before.
Oh, oh.
Isn't that really used to? We heard a lot in radio in Indonesia. We heard like some of the famous American singer. And what makes it really different for you? Apa sih yang menjadi kayak,
Hmm.
oh ini loh yang baru yang ada di state gitu.
Well, I learned more about the classic music though. Right
Classic
there.
music.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
part?
because of my subject,
Uh huh.
I took several like courses related about music and singing thingy, singing matter. Yeah.
So you took choir class,
Yeah.
didn't you? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
All
I
right.
did.
That was so much fun,
I
right?
know. It was so much fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what I like a lot about being one of international student right there.
Hmm.
And you learn about yourself as well, like how you adjust with new environment, meeting new people. Yeah, that was fun. So much fun.
Wow, a lot of information is coming in, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and speaking about like, have you come to Princeton University, or is there any kind of what do you call it, like really prestige education system that you need to say like, okay, this I think this is going to be applicable to Indonesia or something. Ada nggak kepikiran kayak gitu?
Okay. Visiting university during my exchange year
Iya.
was actually one of the thing that excited me a lot. But during my year, um, the most like make me amazed the most was one time I was visiting Gallaudet University. So it's actually the university for deaf students, and this is like the one and only on earth They claim it that way.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, but
No
I've
way.
never been in any Ivy League universities
Mhm.
before. But that one thing amazed me a lot.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason why you can actually speak for ASL. Was that for, the first time came that you know that you can speak ASL because of the visiting for that university?
No,
Or
no, 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 no.
okay.
Because of uh, my host mom is deaf,
Mhm.
so I learned a lot about American Sign Language, and she just wanted to introduce me to the deaf culture in America. And we one time visited that university, and I was like, wow, wow, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, really awesome.
I know I know one sign. I think this one is thank you. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Now I know.
Exactly.
Now I can learn ASL now.
You learned something, huh?
You said the first. Okay. Let's talk about mid. I mean, like, do you know? You've been mentioning about the Thanksgiving. You
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah.
So the first. Where was that again? The first time of Thanksgiving, Virginia.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Can you tell me more about the Thanksgiving in Virginia? Especially that's like the mother of Thanksgiving, right? So can you please tell me more or tell us more about how Thanksgiving works in uh, Mid Atlantic or Virginia?
Okay. So basically, the Thanksgiving is like we thank our people
Mhm.
and the things that we have today, right now, right? And we gather with family and we eat some turkey, right? But yeah, I learned from the internet recently that the Virginia is the state where the Thanksgiving was the first held, right?
Mhm.
So like me myself experienced Thanksgiving even though not in Virginia, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I admit that I once part of my host family's Thanksgiving event.
Oh, I
So
see.
yeah.
So there must be a lot of foods, right?
Yeah.
A lot of foods coming in, and then you I don't know. For me, for myself, I was like, okay, that's a lot of food. I don't know which one that I want to start with.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you find like your favorite foods, especially for the mid-Atlantic foods that you like?
For the Thanksgiving celebration for specific or the whole
Oh
journey?
wait, so there is a specific foods
For
for
Thanksgiving.
there's a specific foods as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
turkey, and then the mashed
Oh
potato.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, I got it,
actually
I got
yeah.
it. But I mean, I thought it's going to be like that's the specific foods for the Virginia or the for Mid-Atlantic. Yeah.
No, no, actually
No.
the
Oh,
same.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. And then what kind of foods that you like when you were there? Makanan favorit apa sih
Iya.
kira-kira yang Sisil tuh suka gitu? Yang sampai sekarang
Okay.
tuh kalau bisa kalau balik when I came back to Indonesia I was like I need this again. I need to find this again.
There are actually a lot of food right there.
Uh-huh.
But one of my favorite was probably the mac and cheese with the crab scramble on
Oh,
the
I know
top.
that one.
Yeah, it's like yeah. The street food probably. It's like it was so good. So yeah, but my host family actually really like to provide a lot of different food because they want to show me the various food, but not specifically just in America, but they like to try food from other countries as well. So I don't really know how the really American food because they provided and introduced me for a lot of food from different countries. So yeah. What about you? What's your favorite food in America?
Favorite foods? Still dessert is number one.
Ah, yeah.
The dessert
Okay,
is
okay. I missed
never
that
be
part.
changed.
I missed that part. Yeah,
No
yeah,
one
yeah.
can change that. Like, I know we find a lot in brownies, for example, here, but no one can take over for the brownies in America, and also pies.
Ah,
The pie
yeah,
is
yeah.
really lovely.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Apple pie, and then yeah, a lot of pies. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Now, all right then. Speaking about your educations and also your lifestyles again, and you told me that the Mid Atlantic is really diverse. So, as an Indonesian, Asian, and also a Muslim, how do you feel how do you feel being in the middle of Mid Atlantic, especially in Webster? Is that correct? Correct
Yeah,
me if
yeah,
I'm-
Webster, yeah.
And then how do you, like? I'm assuming that you have the stereotype first before you came, right? And
Yes.
then, would that change when you were there? And then, can you tell us more?
Okay. I didn't expect that question come up actually.
All right, cool.
Okay.
I'll bring it
So,
up.
all right. So, yeah, they ask me a lot about being a Muslim and also about my hijab, of course. Yeah, but I love to share. So, basically, the asking the most common questions being asked to me were like, "You don't have hair. Why should you cover?"
Oh, was that the questions that you got when you were?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the common one. You don't
Uh-huh.
have hair, or like, if I see your hair, should I marry you then? Yeah,
All
that
right.
question. Or like, why should you cover? Why should you cover? And then like, or do you hide something beneath the scarf, Cecilia? Like, yeah, but that's what our main program was about, right?
Mhm,
To
mhm.
be the bridge and to build better understanding between us and Americans, right?
Mhm, cool.
So,
So,
yeah.
mereka lebih curious aja ya.
Yeah,
Kayak
yeah, yeah. Curious.
kenapa kok ditutup?
Yeah,
Ada rambut nggak kayak gitu?
betul.
Pretty much. And then how do you overcome it? I mean, how do you answer that?
Yeah, I answered that because yeah, being a Muslim, I choose to because I choose to cover because like, it's actually our freedom to cover or not cover. So, yeah, basically, I will provide some easy question, so it won't lead to like the difficult or more confusing answer.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and it was fun. It was fun. Like yeah, they will probably like ask more questions, but and it ended up like we built better understanding and we become friends eventually later on, right? So yeah, it was fun after all.
Speaking about friends, how do you make friends there? I mean, like, I know you
Okay.
were in Mid Atlantic in New York, and then they are really, really diverse. Do you find yourself in a club during your school days? And yeah, what do you do basically there?
Yeah, I joined some clubs
Uh huh.
like the Key Club if you're familiar with the volunteer thingy.
What do you call that again? Kick club?
Key.
Oh,
Key
Key Club.
Club,
That's
yeah.
a volunteering club.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I
All right.
joined that, and also I joined some fundraising with the students. You know, it's really common, right, in America. And also, yeah, I basically involved in several clubs and communities. So that's the way. That's not the only way, but that's one of the way that I can make friends. And also during the class, probably during the group discussion and probably during lunch, you just say hi to your classmate and like, can I join and something. Yeah, just you know, how do you make friends back then?
Yeah, joining clubs, right?
Right.
And joining clubs, and also during lunch, you just like ask one of your friends, "Hey, can I join with you for having lunch?" Yeah, sure, go ahead. They were like really, really warm and
Yeah.
giving nice topics. Like we're not just going to eat our favorite foods, but also trying to be engaged with them, make friends, and yeah.
What was the difficult part of making friends? Now I'm asking you. I'm the moderator now.
No. I'm still the moderator. Okay.
Okay.
The difficult part is that I think. Okay, for this is for myself. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
From my opinion or my perspective, it's just really different to tell us a jokes. Like I know it's funny, but the way we convey our jokes is really different, and so I'm kind of like, okay, okay, that's funny. Okay, that's not funny. Try to think twice, basically.
Okay.
And
right.
they have, for me in South Dakota, they, I think, starting from, they have an education system within 4 years, starting from freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
And they already start for having a part-time job or having almost a full-time job. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, can we go out? And they were like, I'm sorry, I have this kind of event that I need to take. Yeah.
That is so relatable. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
relatable,
forgot to
right?
highlight that. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. They start they started their career, quote
Mhm.
unquote, as the part timer. Yeah.
So it's actually usual in your cities as well, though.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, every time I ask my friends to go out, then they refuse because they have to like go to work. Meanwhile, me, like, okay, I'm gonna join the club then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And also in New York City, in New York States, sorry. Have you been visiting some of the tourism attractions or tourism sites while you were there? And can you give us mention like what kind of sites that you've been visiting?
Okay, I actually visited the Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
Yeah, Lady Liberty, and I actually visited the 9/11 Memorial. If
Oh.
you're familiar with
Oh
that,
yeah, I know that one. I know that one.
9/11 Memorial,
Mhm.
and also I visited the Niagara Falls. That
Oh,
was so much
cool.
fun. Yeah, that was so much fun.
Wait, you could actually like jump into that Niagara. No, no, not I mean
Not
jump into
jump.
that. I mean like almost at the edge of the Niagara Falls. Can
Yeah.
you? Yeah, you can
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's not really dangerous.
No, 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 no. They have like the border.
Oh, they do have the
border
borders.
something. Yeah, and you can actually take on a boat. Yeah, to the Niagara Falls, and I tried that once. That was so much fun.
And you were at the edge of the Niagara Falls.
Not the edge. The where the wave is not that dangerous.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, they have like things to do in Niagara Falls kind of thing. So yeah.
Because what I've seen on the picture, Google mentioned.
Okay.
Like says.
What Google mentioned?
Okay. The Google when I type Niagara Falls and go for the image, there are a lot of people or tourists that actually at the edge of the Niagara Falls, and they were like really, really not scared of anything, and there is no border at all. I was like, wow,
Wow. Okay.
that's really dangerous, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they
yeah,
took a picture anyway, so they're fine.
All right. Okay.
I actually been go to Baltimore for.
Oh.
Yeah, I went there.
for-
So during my, this is not my sharing session, but anyway,
It's okay.
I went to Baltimore, Maryland. It was on February 2016 for attending the international conference sponsored by the one of the how can I explain this one? Sponsored by one of the private company, not private company. It's pretty much like community,
Okay.
and it was talking about the tolerance and also religions and how do we as world citizens take action for having peace, basically.
Was that called BUBW?
Yeah, correct.
Better,
Yeah.
better understanding for a better world.
Yeah,
right?
better understanding for a better world.
Ah, yeah,
And
yeah,
during
you know that.
during that time, we went to a sea world. Not a sea world. It's like we went to a harbor, and there is actually a lot of attractions. Like if you can see the dolphins doing things, and a lot of fishes and animals. Yeah, I don't know
That's
I don't know the place. Do you know the place?
No.
Not really. Not really.
Not
Oh,
really.
okay.
Yeah.
But it was
okay.
really cool though. I mean, a lot of things going on and big. Yeah, it's a big city. A lot of buildings like closely to skyscrapers, I think, but still tall buildings.
I see. Okay. I've never been there before, so thank you for sharing. Yeah.
I'm taking your time.
Okay.
Now, also, what kind of clubs that you like during your school day, and then how your friends treat you? How your friends treat you during the club?
Yeah, because I actually joined the Key Club, so we did a lot of volunteering. We went to the senior citizen place and play with them, and also telling stories. And they asked me a lot, like, where you come from, honey, and yeah, the senior citizen right there are very sweet,
Mhm.
So like, yeah, they asked me a lot about things going on in school, and yeah, and I think the most important part of being an exchange student or international students is you can choose the club that you actually want to learn or belong to, but please go out of your comfort zone because you will learn a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty much fun. Yeah. And the way my friends treated me, that's an interesting question. Basically, we do what friends do.
We do what friends do.
Yeah, we do what friends do, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we hang out and go for shopping and visiting their house during Christmas or Thanksgiving or other celebration during my exchange year. So it was a lot of celebration.
A lot of celebrations.
Yeah.
Do you think that in Mid Atlantic and in another states, is there any other differences like the accent or the
Yeah.
yeah the
Yeah.
cultures or the people? What makes it different between other states and the Mid Atlantic?
Well, basically in America, we know that we separate between, it's not specifically like New England, Mid-Atlantic region, but we more likely say it's South and North, right? So uh, the South part is actually like the place is kind of like dry, and like for the North part, they have heavy winter and
Oh yeah.
right? So, and the accent is really different, don't you think so? You've been in several places, right?
I've been watching a lot of movies and not a lot
Okay.
of places in America, but
Okay.
I've heard some of the accent. Can you do the Mid Atlantic accent?
This is actually, I'm trying my best to be
Oh.
the mid-Atlantic, but I can't talk in, like Texas people do. Because I've been in Texas before as well during my exchange year. And I noticed that they have different accent than America, right? Probably Bunga can say or tell. So, yeah, the accent is different, but the education system, I feel like it's probably, the system itself is not that different,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, but there are a lot of some differences between the north and the south. Probably the north people are more likely, more like what I mean, like busier. Looks like the time is money phrase is real, but the south is probably like more chill if I'm not mistaken. So it's like yeah. So the south is more like more strict than the north. That's what I noticed during my exchange year and been in several places in America. Yeah.
I just knew it from you. I mean, like, I thought it's going to be, okay, this is like kind of typical of the United States. They're having fun with their time. They're having fun with their families and also working. But I don't know much about the differentiates between the northern and the southern. That's actually cool. Wow. Now, we have questions from the audience. So
Okay.
this questions comes from some of the online sources, online social media sources like Facebook or Twitter, Zooms, and also Instagram.
Okay.
The first questions. Okay, we don't have the username coming in, so let's say a person.
Okay.
Okay, he said or she said from Facebook, how do people in New York treat you?
Okay.
How do people in New York treat you? Gimana sih?
They treated me in a really nice way, I guess. They treated me really nice. They like I thought we talked about it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about it, right?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're really tolerate and they ask question. So they didn't make assumption. They ask question directly. So that's what I like about the people in New York. And also, I got yeah a lot of interesting things during the conversation. We exchange the ideas and understanding. So they treat me in a really nice way, and they are friendly as well. Like the pujian, the affirmation.
Yes.
We don't really use it in Indonesia, right? Like, I like your shirt.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
God, I like your shoes. I like your hair. That kind of things. It's probably I highlighted. It's the part of American culture.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's boosts the confidence of the person when you say something about him or her. So yeah, that's nice.
That's nice actually for having an affirmation towards people, right?
Exactly.
Um, so they actually ask you questions, but it's actually not for having an attack or force you to make a defense. It's just like they're curious about you that you need to answer it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Did you experience the same?
Seems not really because I don't wear hijab. I'm a man, so
I know,
they don't really
obviously.
notice me, even though I mentioned I'm from Indonesia, I'm Muslim, and they just keep questioning for where's Indonesia? And, where's
Yeah,
Indonesia?
that's a lot.
And they know more about Bali. Like people, you've heard a lot. I know you've heard a lot.
Yeah.
They know more Bali instead of Indonesia, which actually Bali is part of Indonesia. Uh, yeah, a lot of questions coming in like that. And do you have TVs? And I was like, what?
Oh my, really? That question?
Because they know
Wow,
that
interesting.
because they probably know Borneo. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
know Borneo, like a lot of forest trees, and they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
like thinking, do you have
Yeah.
TVs and such? Okay,
Okay.
come from the second questions. Facebook, what do you like the most about New York? New York in cities or New York in states? Yeah.
New York City is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I wish I can go there.
Yeah, you should. Like literally, it's like one of a dream come true for me because having the opportunity to visit New York City, where people probably want to go there to see a lot of skyscrapers. Like the skyscrapers are real. Like, yeah, my head be like all the time, and a lot of things. In New York State in general, probably you experience the same, like the housing and things. It's like just normal American typical, but like the New York City is actually the highlight. Yeah, because when I was there in New York City, it was actually my first week in being in America. Can you imagine, like, first week and you visited New York, where you are actually not really stable enough as a human being because of the jet lag and thing, right?
Yeah.
And you visit New York City, so like, wait a minute,
Is
can
it real?
I? Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the highlight and the favorite part is probably the New York City part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to Times Square?
Yeah,
You did?
Yes, I
cool. How was
did.
it?
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of electronics and such.
Yeah, and
Advertisement.
yeah, crowded.
Crowded. But
Yeah,
you like
crowded.
it, right?
I like it
Oh,
so
okay.
much.
Now, what do you learn the most during your time in American high school, especially in Webster, New York?
I learned how to keep up with all the culture and the courses, And also, what I really like, oh my God, I forgot to highlight this, but what I like the most about the scoring system in America, they are really open. Like when you get A or B, they directly put it to the system so you can adjust your final score, right? For example, when you get the A, C, probably C for the first test, then you will make it better to get the A, so the final score will be not that bad at the end of the day, right? So that's what I really like about the high school thingy back then, and about the high school itself, I learned a lot about English.
Learn about English.
Yeah, English.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I took the English course really serious just because I really wanted to learn, and we talk about the novel and things, and also talking about courses. I learned a lot as well about U.S. history in U.S. history class. Even though at the first I didn't perform that well in the U.S. history class because of we talk about the laws and
Yes.
a lot of years mentioned. Yeah, it was pretty tough at first, but actually I kept up. And during the high school year there, the most important thing that I learned about myself, I learned about how to deal with new environment and how to keep up with my academic life during my high school because it's really different. The education system is really different in Indonesia and in America. So yeah, I learned a lot about that.
So
Pretty
it
much.
changes your 180 degrees of your perspective, and also, what can I say? It's like, yeah, you find the new you. You find
Yeah,
yourself
the new
new
me.
one.
Yeah. That's right.
Awesome. Next, now we have the username from the questions from BJ Swamintaya. He said on Zoom, talking about music, do you find that there is a little social discrimination amongst the highest level, the middle, the lowest, etc.? To understand what I mean, dangdut, considered as the lowest taste, and music from Western and Korean are the best in our country. Thanks.
Oh, that's a really interesting question.
Yeah, because we've been
right?
talking about music, right?
Yeah,
And he
that's
just came
really
up with
interesting.
dangdut. Okay.
Yeah. I get the point. It's actually really interesting to talk about music, but I think during my time, because we're talking about based on my experience, yeah, because of the music, we talk about the music during my experience. I think it's we actually tolerate the music taste right there. Like, for example, I have a group of friends. One likes rock music very much, and another one loves classic music, and we actually don't judge. So to answer that question, I think the music differences in America, especially for the youth, well, they most likely like the same type of music among them, but when you face the differences, it's really okay too. The culture of you do you in
Yeah.
America, yeah, like you do you. So yeah, if you like that, go ahead. If I like that, then I will go ahead. So we don't judge the music and the social level back then during my time in America.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Frankie to say, he is mentioning like the Western and the Koreans are the best in the countries.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't heard a person who start listening to Korean during my study though. During my
Really?
study, yeah, I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
there's no Korean songs, and yeah, it's just really curious about it. And besides, okay,
But before you
yeah.
go ahead, I have a question.
What?
During your time in South Dakota, do you notice that the youth or your friends in your school watch drakor back then?
Not at all. Not at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Because my friends did.
Oh yeah, your friends did?
Yeah. So like yeah. So it's yeah, pretty much the same like
wow.
Indonesia, right?
Oh, anyway, speaking about music, do you is there any specific or unique music in Mid Atlantic or in New York? Like what kind of music that will telling you this music is come from my cities? And yeah, do you find
I
it?
don't notice for the specific. I think all part of America enjoying different taste of music. So like, I actually didn't notice that there is this is New York music, something like that. I
Oh,
think
okay.
yeah, it's just the famous singers in South Dakota probably is the famous one in New York as well. you know. So yeah.
Hopefully, I know.
Yeah.
Now, coming from the next questions. Oh, same person, Bijiswamintaya. He said on Zoom, how about country music? What's your opinion towards that questions? How about country music? Have you heard country music before?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I do. I do. What do you think? Like,
They love it a lot. They
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I several time during hanging out with my friends, we listen to country music as well.
mhm.
So yeah, like I mentioned before talking about music, well, it's really vary and it depends on the people's favorite. So yeah, we love the country music as well in Mid Atlantic.
Do they
So it's
actually listen it a lot in the radio, or some people just listen to it and some people don't?
yeah, some people listen to it and some people don't because
Okay.
yeah, it backs depend on the music taste.
It depends on the music taste.
Yeah, I
I
guess
see.
so.
Cool. Okay. Um. Okay. I think there is not a lot of questions coming in now. Um. So then I think that's the end of our session today. And I would like
Okay.
to say thank you so much for being here as a speaker. I really enjoy our conversation and discussion.
Thank you for having me here.
Yep. And then please, Kaanin, to take the stage. Thank you so much for the audience as well to
Thank
come here,
you.
and I will see you soon. Okay, Kaanin, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, give a big applause for our moderator and speaker. It was so nice to talk about the US. I think our time will never be enough for that. So, in the end of in earlier in this event, we have our trivia. The question was, in which state in the Mid-Atlantic region did the signing of the Declaration of Independence take place? And the answer is D, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Rina Shamsir from Facebook for answering correctly. So, everyone, thank you to everyone who has participated to our question of the day. Don't forget to tune in next time to catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea with a place like this? Very easy. You can go to our website and send your event proposal to us at www.atamerica.org.id. Select Create a Program and go to Collaborate with us. All the event proposals will be reviewed and your event might be featured here soon. Also, while you are on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter to get our weekly event updates. Well, that wraps this episode. It's been fun. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. You can follow us. We are on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AT America. We have fun contents, giveaways, and so much more there. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at America. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Aninda, and see you next time. Bye bye.